Here is Elvis.
Hello.
This is Elvis, the ultimate fan channel, the global Elvis community fan channel.
She's right, you know. She is. Good evening, everybody. How are you? Good to see you. Welcome once again to Elvis, the Ultimate Fan Channel. I have just finished watching Rick's Elvis A to Z live stream with Cam and Bluebeard as well, the Blue Moon Boys. And just to reiterate what they were saying there about, you can find the link below also that Rick was talking about for Cam, to help Cam, and also the Circle G ranch as well. I wanted to get that in before I forgot straight away. So if you do want to support either Cam or the Circle G Foundation, why wouldn't you? Then just click on those links below and that'll give you all the details you need. So welcome, as I say. Here we are again on a Sunday. Now, I know I'm conscious with it being a global community that it could be morning, it could be afternoon, evening, could be even early Monday morning if you're watching in Australia or Fiji or somewhere like that. I do appreciate all the viewers that look in live, or any of you that watch the playback as well, because you can have just as much fun watching the playback. You can even take part in the quiz, and it's all good fun. And yeah, that's basically it. So let's kick off with what you found here is an Elvis channel that supports Elvis's legacy and memory and tries as much as possible to promote all the positive side of Elvis's life and career. There obviously will be a few times when we stray into, how can I put it, more unsavory, not unsavory, what am I trying to say here? Sort of more negative, sadder parts of Elvis's life. Everybody's life has a little negative light in it as well as a good light. So, but 90%, 98% of the time, it's all about the good stuff. We leave the negative stuff and the preposterous stuff and all that sort of stuff to the other channels. I'm pretty sure you know who and what I'm talking about. And those subjects which are just absolutely preposterous. Yes. Now, so we've got a topic coming up, the TV specials, the final verdict. I will be asking you about the 1968 NBC TV special, the Aloha from Hawaii concert, and also the 1977 CBS Elvis in concert. That's the topic. You can, of course, join the queue to call in on Discord. If you still haven't joined our Discord server, then there's a link for you below. There's an invite for you below, which I think lasts for 7 days. You can also call in on the number on the screen, +353 if you're outside Ireland. And you can also talk to me on Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. Now, what have we got in this fine show for you tonight? Well, we have got This Day in Elvis History, a live poll that meshes in with the topic, a song I wish Elvis had recorded, Caption the Photo, Smoking Hot Photo. Wow, wait till you see that one. It's definitely worth waiting till the end for that one, that's for sure. You can call me, as I say, free on Instagram and Facebook. Thanks very much as well for all the kind comments that you've sent me through the week. You've sent me messages on social media. You've sent me messages on here. You've sent me emails. Sorry, Tanya, I meant to show the gift that you'd sent me, the mug. I will get that and show it to everybody next week. I'm sorry, I meant to do that this week. So thanks again to anybody that does send me little knickknacks and so forth. I appreciate them all. Right, but before we even dive in to the Elvis quiz, we have to do one of these.
Hidden Elvis. Clue number 1.
Hidden Elvis. It's something that I thought up a couple of weeks ago, and we've been running it now for a few weeks. If you pay attention to these 4 clues I'm going to give you throughout the show. And that sounded very schoolmasterly, didn't it? Pay attention at the back there. Yes. Priscilla, pay attention at the back there. Vincenzo, stop talking. Okay, I will give you 4 clues through the show, and it will all add up to either a place, an Elvis place, or a song, or a movie, or something like that. And the first one is 80 beats per minute. Don't tell us yet what it is. I've just got to clear this off my screen because it is actually, that's better, annoying me. Don't tell me yet. I will ask near the end of the show, and you can put up the answer, or what you think is the answer, on the live chat. Okay. Now, for the purposes of the quiz, I will ask you to make sure that you've got all messages or live chat selected at the top of the live chat, not just top messages, because if you do, you won't see all the answers, and you might think that you were the first, even though you weren't. So, as said in my trailer yesterday, I had so much fun doing the name the movie from the screen grabs that I thought I'd do a round 2. So I'm going to show you a screen grab from an Elvis movie, and you've got to tell me what it is. And I'm going to do a red today for Manchester United, even though we lost. If you don't know by now, I'm going to tell you that I support the team Manchester United. Karen says, has Steve started the show yet? Well, if you're commenting on it, then yes, I have started it. Hi, Dave. Dave is going to help me moderate and help me sort of see which is the first correct answer. And also Chris. Chris is there. Hi, Chris. Karen, he is on. Yes, I am on. I am here. Hello, hello, hello. I am here. Right. So, screen grab number 1. And it's this one. What movie is this from? Everybody has to have one floor, Steve. Yes, oh, I've got more than one. Red for the table topper, says Brian Roberts. I wonder, can I ban Brian? No, I wouldn't do that. Okay, so what have we got? We've got Paradise Hawaiian Style, Blue Hawaii. Live a Little, Love a Little. I thought it was Live a Little, Love a Little when I did it, and I knew what it was. Okay, so, believe it or not, it is Fun in Acapulco. Yes, Fun in Acapulco. And Helen Ludlow, congratulations, Helen. So, Helen is off the mark. And in honor of the topic tonight, I've changed the quiz jingle back to this.
Did 29 pictures like that, baby.
I did 29 pictures like that, baby. Damn Elvis, always with the blue PJs. Yes, I know. I think he wore blue PJs in Live a Little, Love a Little as well. Edward says, well done, Helen. I say well done, Helen, as well. Side sleeper. I think I'm a side sleeper or a back sleeper. Although I think when I sleep on my back, I think I snore. And I snore very badly, apparently. But that's another story. Okay, so we're off the mark. Helen Ludlow gets Fun in Acapulco. And which movie is this screen grab from? This is probably an easier one than the first one. Okay, I'm going to have a drink of water while I blank out the screen. That's quite correct, Chris. I snore so loudly when I fall asleep on the couch that nobody can hear the television. Okay. So, lots of people saying Kissing Cousins, and if you've said Kissing Cousins, then you are correct. But the first person that got it correct was Tracy Heenan. Well done, Tracy. And that's what it is. So you get this.
Did 29 pictures like that, baby.
Laura says GI Blues. No. Unlucky, Laura. It wasn't. It was Kissing Cousins. The Kissing Cousins scene is so stupid, it's good, says Dylan. Okay. Karen Armstrong says, well done, Tracy. Right. And this, another easy one, I believe. And this is number 3. If I can get it up on the screen without making a mess of it. There it is. Number 3. Another easy one. Easy. And Chris says, I can't hear the TV from my hubby. Laugh out loud. Is that when he's snoring as well? Dylan says, loving you. Tracy Timothy and Tracy says, roustabout. J.K. Wrinkle says, roustabout. Brian says, roustabout. Funny Acapulco. We've already had that, actually. Laura says, loving you. But it is, again, believe it or not, Tracy with roustabout. And the young lady on the left there is Raquel Welch. Yes, that is a scene during the Poison Ivy League song. Chris says, yep, Steve's snoring. Yeah, he drowns out the TV as well. So it's Tracy. Well done, Tracy. And you get another one of these.
Did 29 pictures like that, maybe.
Okay, Tracy Heenan. That's a double for Tracy. Well done, Tracy. And as I say, in case you didn't know, that is the lady next to the gentleman with the blue sweater on is Raquel Welch. Right, number 4. I can't remember what I did for this one, but again, I think it's fairly easy. This. There you are. No Elvis at all with that. I think you'll get this fairly quick, though. Tracy says clam bake. Chris goes, what? Laura says follow the fun in Acapulco again. Okay. FTD. Yeah, it is actually a shot of the radio just before he sings Follow That Dream. And that's the movie, obviously. Radio, of course. Yes, yes. Follow That Dream. So it was Dylan this time, I believe. Well done, Dylan. You get this.
Did 29 pictures like that, maybe.
Well done. I wondered where you were, Dylan. You hadn't got anything yet. Right. So we've got number 5 coming up. And it's this one. Oh, yes. I remember when I set this one. Will this catch anybody out, I wonder? Chris says, sorry, Steve, my screen froze. That's no problem. No problem. Karen keeps saying follow that dream. She knows if she says follow that dream, well, she'll be right. Okay. Yeah, he's got it again, has he? Yeah, Dylan. Well done, Dylan. Yeah, you've got Kid Galahad. Yes, and that's what it is. I thought people might think that was Follow That Dream. Well, Karen definitely did. But, yeah, it is. It is. Although somebody says Tracy got in by a hair. So let me have a look. Yeah, Tracy did, actually. Well done, Dylan. Well, yes. Yes, it is Tracy. Yeah. Well done, Tracy. Apologies to Dylan. But he's as gracious as ever. What a gentleman. You get this, Tracy.
Did 29 pictures like that, maybe.
Tracy, you are having a stormer of a week. You really are a stormer of a week. And we have one more. And I don't think this will catch anybody out simply because of the colour. There you are. Debloticious says, or Debloticus says, yay, Tracy. Yeah, now I know why some people are saying King Creole, because it's black and white, yeah. But it is, believe it or not, Jailhouse Rock. It's the scene where just before he says, "Lady, I don't know what the hell you're talking about." So Timothy Lee was the first person to say that. You can just see under that gentleman's arm a little bit of Judy Tyler. Okay. So, Timothy. Well done, Timothy. And that was a really, really... There you go.
Did 29 pictures like that, maybe.
That was a really good spread of correct answers this week. So we had Helen, we had 3 to Tracy, 1 to Dylan, and 1 to Timothy. Yes, that's the quiz for this week. Don't forget, there is a prize every month for the winner, the one person that gives the most correct answers through the month. What do I need to do here? That's what I need to do. Right. Now, the topic... Yes, the topic is the TV specials. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I was curious to know how people felt about the 3 TV specials that Elvis did. So let's quickly run through the TV specials as we know them. The 1968 Singer Presents Elvis, sometimes referred to as the 68 Comeback Special. Don't know why, because he hadn't been away. Aired on NBC on December the 3rd, 1968. The show was initially planned as a Christmas special by the network and Elvis's manager, Tom Parker. But producer Bob Finkel hired director Steve Binder, who, rather than creating a Christmas special, created a special that would reflect the musical trends of the time and appeal to a younger audience. Taping took place in June 1968 at NBC studios in Burbank, California, and the soundtrack recordings took place at Western Recorder Studios on 6000 Sunset Boulevard. On June the 4th, Senator Robert Kennedy was shot at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles after giving a live television speech. He died 2 days later. Steve Binder stated in a 2005 interview that one night we were rehearsing, the television set was on in the other room, and all of a sudden there was this moment of silence. And I said, "I think Bobby Kennedy has just been shot." And we all rushed into the other office, and that's exactly what had happened. They were live at the Ambassador Hotel, Kennedy making his speech. We were in the piano room at the time, but there was just something weird and that evening, and I just sensed something had gone wrong. Then we spent the whole night talking about the Kennedy assassination of both Bobby and John. According to Steve, this event would further motivate Elvis to record If I Can Dream as the special's closing number. Of course, this scene was very, very well done in the Baz Luhrmann Elvis movie. Elvis aired on Tuesday, December the 3rd, 1968 at 9 p.m. EST. And this is the important part. 42% of the total television audience viewed it, making it the most watched show of the season. Okay? 42% of the total audience viewed it, making it the most watched show of the season. So that's the 1968 special. Aloha. Oh yeah, I should have shown you that when I was talking about it. Elvis in his first TV special, Tuesday, December the 3rd, NBC TV, in colour. Yes, it was a big thing then to say that something was in colour. I'm not actually sure when colour became the norm in the US. I'm pretty sure probably the late 50s, early 60s. Maybe somebody can actually tell me, actually. But they still sort of made a big deal about things being in colour. Okay, so that's the 1968. Then, of course, we had this. Oh, yes. Elvis Aloha from Hawaii via satellite is a concert that took place at the Honolulu International Center and was broadcast live via satellite to audiences in Asia and Oceania on January the 14th, 1973. The show was presented with a delay in Europe. In the United States, to avoid the programming conflict with the Super Bowl and Elvis on Tour, which was playing in cinemas at the time, NBC opted to air a 90-minute television special of the concert on April 4th in the US. The Aloha from Hawaii concert took place at 12:30 a.m. local time to match the prime time of the broadcast locations of the concert: Hong Kong, Japan, South Korea, South Vietnam, and Philippines and Australia. Eddie Sherman, a Honolulu advertiser writer, contacted Parker with the idea of giving the proceeds of the concert admissions to a charity he had recently established. Good. Since Parker could not charge a television audience for tickets, Sherman proposed taking donations for the Quee Lee Cancer Fund. Instead, Sherman started the fund to benefit cancer research at the University of Hawaii. Now, we know that Quee Lee, a singer-songwriter from Hawaii, died in 1966 of lymph gland cancer. Elvis recorded Lee's I'll Remember You in 1966 and included the song in his live sets. And it was definitely a highlight of the Aloha from Hawaii concert. Even just thinking about it now, I can feel the hairs on the back of my head going up. Elvis contributed with the first donation of $1,000, which is equivalent to $6,900 in today's money, while the audience could determine the amount of their donations. The proceeds of the show exceeded the planned $25,000, equivalent to $171,000 today, and $75,000, which was equivalent is equivalent of $514,000 today, was raised for the Quee Lee Cancer Fund. In fact, Elvis tells us that during the concert that they wanted to raise $25,000 and they've raised $75,000. And he makes a point of saying, because of you, and he points to the audience. The concert closed the Elvis Presley Week television event on NTV in Japan and garnered 37.8% of the total television viewers. Viewership reached 70% in Hong Kong. In South Korea, it attracted an estimated 70 to 80% of TV viewers, while a tentative data from the Philippines indicated a 91.8%. 91.8% in the Philippines. Wow. As the event occurred during the Cold War, China and the Soviet Union were excluded from the broadcast. When the show was broadcast in the US on April the 4th, it earned a Nielsen rating of 33.8, which was a 57% share. So over half the available viewing figures were given to Aloha from Hawaii on the night of April 4th, 1973. Now, we get to this one, which is Elvis in Concert, CBS Elvis in Concert. On June the 1st, 1977, it was announced that Elvis had signed a deal with CBS for a new television special. It was agreed that CBS would videotape concerts during the summer of 77. The final special was culled from footage of two of the performances, June 19th in Omaha and June 21st in Rapid City, South Dakota, albeit much of the footage from Omaha was considered unusable due to sound problems. The crew also filmed footage of Elvis at the airport in Indianapolis on June 26th. This is the last known footage of Elvis ever filmed. Elvis in Concert was broadcast on CBS on October the 3rd, 1977, 2 months after Elvis's death. It was transmitted by the BBC in the United Kingdom on June 9th, 1978. And I remember sitting down on June the 9th, 1978, when I lived in England, and watching it. Yes. It has never been released on home video, and Elvis's estate has issued a statement saying that they have no plans to release the special due to the fact that Elvis was visibly far from his best in the way he looked and performed. The company is long believed to have a policy that refuses to license any product that portrays Elvis as overweight. Footage from the special has, however, appeared elsewhere on home video. The performance of Are You Lonesome Tonight, Love Me and My Way were used in the 1981 movie This Is Elvis, and the performance Unchained Melody, which was not featured on the original CBS telecast, appeared in the 1990 home video release The Great Performances, and of course the last half of it as well was used in the Elvis, the Baz Luhrmann movie as well. One reviewer stated, "It's hard to believe that the CBS TV company actually would have aired the show if Elvis hadn't died 2 months later, making it his final recorded performance." Maybe. It was the highest rated primetime program of the week upon its airing, with a 33.0 Nielsen rating representing 24.1 million homes. Wow. Of course, in 1977, the population wasn't as big and there wasn't as many television sets. So 24.1 million homes. Now, what does everybody think of that? I'm going to ask you in a second to vote on a poll. And the reason why I'm going to ask you to do that is simply because I'm intrigued to know which one is your favourite. Now, I think I know which one is going to win. But is there sentimental reasons why you might want to vote for the 1968 one or the 1977 one? You know, I do want you to maybe just think about it first of all. And that's what the poll is this week. Not an easy one, I know. But there it is. Start the poll. Okay. Hopefully that will come up now on your screen, everybody. And there it is. Which one is your favourite? 1968 NBC TV special, 1973 NBC Aloha from Hawaii, or 1977 CBS Elvis in concert? Yeah, I will be interested. Please do vote on it. The more people that vote on it, the more accurate I believe the outcome will be. Before we go any further, I have to do this.
Hidden Elvis. Clue number 2.
Clue number 2 of Hidden Elvis, to go with clue number 1, which was 80 beats per minute, is E major. E major. So jot down those first 2 clues and see if you know what it is. If you do know what it is yet, please don't let the cat out of the bag. Just hold off, and when I ask you near the end of the show, you can type your answer in the live chat. I think that I've got to put myself in the call. This is the button I press.
It's time once again for Dylan's Elvis Tale.
Yes, Dylan's Elvis Tale. I hope this young man is there. Hi, how are you, Dylan?
Hello, how are you?
Now, we have to tell everybody something first. You have a very sore gum, don't you? Your mouth.
A very sore gum, yes.
So
if I'm drunk, I promise I'm not.
Yeah, or if he's talking slower than normal, please do bear with us. My heart goes out to you because I remember years ago I had an abscess under one of my teeth, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. So you'll probably be off to the dentist later on in the week, will you?
Probably after my birthday, which is Tuesday.
Oh yes, everybody! Don't forget to wish Dylan a happy birthday for Tuesday, and he's the big 22. He's 22. It only seems like 5 minutes ago since I was sitting here wishing you a happy 21st, and now your 21st year is nearly over.
I know it is, and I will report back to you next time with how it was and all that.
And you can also tell me if you got some Elvis goodies.
I will indeed.
Now, shall we do the Dylan's Tale?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, funnily enough, I said to Steve, I don't know if he did this on purpose, but the poll is kind of related to the tale. And it's about Gene Doucette. Now, we've got a picture of him, if I remember to send it, I think. Fingers crossed.
Gene Doucette, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, there he is.
There he is. And Gene was Elvis's wardrobe designer from 1972 to 77. So he was the man behind stuff like the American Eagle, which we just talked about, and the Peacock, and the Sundial, and things like that.
Yeah.
And round about the time of the CBS special, he found out that Elvis was going to be on TV. Now, and he got really excited because for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, he was absolutely convinced that Elvis was going to wear the totem pole. He was absolutely convinced. Now, bear in mind, he hadn't worn it for 2 years. He hadn't worn it since 75. It wasn't on the road at the time. So there'd be no reason for him to bring it on the road. But Gene was convinced. And so he sat down to watch it, thinking he was going to see Elvis walk out in the totem pole. And then he sees him in the sundial. And he goes, oh. But then later on he says, well, I was kind of disappointed at first. But I was kind of happy at the same time because the sundial, I seen it like the sundial was a piece of equipment that Elvis could rely on, like an old friend, which I thought was kind of a nice thing to say, kind of like a poetic thing to say. So yeah, that's my.
And what some people forget is that the sundial first came out in 1974. People think that the sundial didn't come out till 77, but it came out in 74.
It came out in 74, and actually, the sundial, the dragon, and the studded Arabian, no, embroidered Arabian, all came out in that same season.
Yeah.
If people might not know that.
I know Elvis had to have it altered slightly when he wore it in 77, but that's obviously another story. What was I going to say? So these TV specials then, what do you think?
Well, I look at it 2 ways. As watching it and performing it, because people might not realise that I actually like to perform these things. I'm an aspiring Elvis, to be honest. I wouldn't say I'm a professional yet, but I'm aspiring. So I've performed these things many, many times. My favourite to perform is the 68.
Right. Okay.
But my favourite to watch is CBS.
Your favourite to watch is CBS. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Any particular reason?
Yeah, because it personifies don't judge a book by its cover.
Yes, it does.
Right, because when you see him walking out on stage, you think, oh man, he's really not well. But then he starts singing and it's like, oh, it doesn't seem like there's anything wrong there, like with his voice.
Yeah, I mean, some people actually say that of all of them, if you listen to the 3 of them, his voice is the best in 77.
Yeah, oh yeah, hands down. Because like this is another thing, the 77, not just a special, but the year in general, it is the hardest for me personally as a singer to replicate, and I'll tell you for why. In 77, his voice was starting to get back to that raspiness that he had in 69 and 70, but it was also combined with this operatic thing that he developed.
Oh wow, yeah.
So combining the 2 together is something that's very, very hard to do as a singer, and there's not a lot of people that can do it.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why I feel like people stray away from that because it's very hard to make it sound good.
I mean, could he have sung Unchained Melody in 68? Probably not.
No. Well, I mean, here's right. I've got a theory on this. I think he could have done it in like 60, because that thing came out in 65 or so? Something
like that, yeah. The Righteous Brothers, I think, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think if he'd recorded it in that arrangement, I think it would have been a great hit. But it hits different watching him doing it in 77.
But the original came out in the 50s. I think it was Jimmy Young or somebody like that. The English disc jockey Jimmy Young did it in 1955 or something like that. But the one that most people know is, the Righteous Brothers, yeah.
Yeah. And fun fact about the Righteous Brothers, the last time that Elvis did Feelin' was because the Righteous Brothers were in the crowd.
Oh, right. Very good. What year was that? Do you remember what it was?
75, I want to say.
Right. Very good.
If you see Bill Medley in the crowd, he goes, oh, hey, Bill, you never close.
Brilliant. Okay, well, I hope your gum gets better. I really do. When I talk to you this time next week, you've got it all sorted out. Are you going to tease next week's?
I would, but I've not thought of it yet, so I won't just yet.
A bit difficult. Okay, yeah. I won't put you under pressure, but I'll talk to you during the week. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
All the best. Bye. Bye.
Join us again next week for another Dylan's Elvis tale.
And he goes off into the sunset, and hopefully he gets that gum sorted out. So let's have a look now. Vincenzo, hopefully Vincenzo's on the line.
All right, can you hear me?
Yay, how are you, Vincenzo?
I'm doing good.
So what do you think on the TV specials?
I picked Aloha from Hawaii.
Do ya? Yeah, I think that's to be between me and you. I think it's going to be the winner, but I'll still be interested to see how many the 1977 gets and how much the 1968 gets. You know.
Oh, I got an Elvis tale to tell.
Huh?
I don't know if anybody ever heard it before.
What was it? Say that again.
I got an Elvis tale.
Oh, yeah, well, go on. Yeah, by all means, tell us, please.
It happened in 1974.
Okay.
Elvis decided he wanted to go to McDonald's. Well, he told Linda Thompson, he goes, I wonder if I go there, if anybody will recognize me, what will happen?
Okay.
He goes up to the counter to pay, and he says, you know who I am? I'm Elvis Presley. The one behind the counter didn't believe him.
I wonder who she thought he was. So brilliant. Yeah, that's a great story. Thanks for sharing that with us, Vincenzo.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice talking to you, Steve.
All the best. Bye-bye. Elvis going to McDonald's and saying, do you know who I am, when he goes to pay, and the woman just didn't believe him. Yeah. Okay. Right, we move on to Tanya. Is Tanya with me? Hi, Tanya. She normally just takes a second just to... Yes. Hello, Tanya. Well, hello there.
The YouTube channel and the Discord are not synced with each other.
Are they not? You'll probably find that the YouTube channel is a little bit behind Discord, maybe.
Oh, right. Okay.
So how are you this week? Sorry, I meant to bring...
good,
I meant to be drinking out of your mug this week, but I forgot. So I'll make some coffee in it next week, and I can show everybody on the screen.
Well, I'm glad it got to you anyway.
Yeah.
It's an important issue.
Yeah, well, sometimes they don't always make it in one piece. When you send something like that in the post, it normally ends up in bits and pieces. But no, it was perfect. Not even a little chip out of it. So anyway, what would you like to talk about this week?
I would like to quote a story from Sonny West.
We're having a week of Elvis tales this week, are we?
Yes.
Okay.
we are.
Okay, fire ahead.
So Sonny and Elvis and Red is in a Wilshire hotel.
Yeah.
So one time they had a water fight there, and water went everywhere. It went from water guns to buckets. And another time that Sonny grabbed Elvis's legs, Joe Esposito grabbing his waist and pinning him down to the floor, and they were tackling him to the ground, and he was putting his hand on his nose and rubbing it hard. So and then he got so mad and cussing and etc. He got up and was like chasing them both with a guitar in his hand and hitting them hard.
I think one of the reasons this was probably, you say this was the Beverly Wilshire, this was probably when they were doing GI Blues or something like that, when they were filming a movie. They did similar things I think with the Hotel Grunwald in Germany, and that's why they had to move out and go to Gotherstrasse, is because they were just too wild for the hotel. So, they must have got up to the...
Yeah.
Yeah, they must have got up to this sort of behaviour very often. But you can understand why. I mean, they were cooped up a lot, I'm sure, so they had to blow off a little bit of steam somehow.
So if I was there at the time, the only way I would defeat Elvis in a battle of karate is rub his nose really hard.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, you could tickle him, I suppose, as well, couldn't you?
Yeah, tickle him.
What do you think about the TV specials? Which one was your favourite?
It was the 73, 74, was it?
Yeah, the NBC Aloha from Hawaii.
Aloha,
yeah, Aloha. Okay, I know. I'm pretty certain that one is going to win, but I'm still interested to see how many the 1968 gets and how many votes the
77. I think the Fever does it for me when he sings Fever.
Yeah, yes. It's a funny. Actually, there's a funny part in that when he's doing the jiggles and everything like that with the drums. He nearly falls over backwards at one point. And then he realizes he's nearly overbalanced, and he kind of laughs. So watch out for that. But I mean, they're all good. Don't get me wrong. They're all good. Those 3 TV specials are all good in their own way. But I was just interested to see which one would come out on top.
What's your favourite?
I'll tell you at the end of the show.
Okay, then.
Okay, all right. All the best.
Okay, see you.
Cheers. Bye. That was Tanya. Thanks very much, Tanya, for phoning in. And now we have this gentleman here called Mark Green. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Steve. How you doing? I'm losing my voice a little bit.
Oh, my goodness me. Is that because of all the singing you did this weekend?
A little bit of the singing, but plus a cold as well. So.
Oh, no.
Trying to get my voice back today. Today's just gone right downhill.
Mine was like that a few weeks ago. Do you remember that? Oh, terrible. Absolutely terrible. Yeah. And when you're doing a show like this, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I like the topic. Obviously, for me, I think Aloha from Hawaii.
Aloha from Hawaii, yeah.
Yeah, even though I love the '68 comeback, obviously he put Elvis on the map for live performances. You know. But
what about the 1977 CBS TV special? Do you think it was solely done for money, as a lot of people say?
I think it was, and I think it was very badly edited. I think it seemed to be rushed out. I can't understand why they left out great songs like "It's Now or Never," "Trying to Get to You," and "I Love You So." Some great performances from Elvis, and then you know you got songs like he did, like Jailhouse Rock, was quite weak performance, rushed, and Hound Dog. And, things that you could have put those songs in, and at the time Elvis was doing them songs all the time live, and we didn't get the chance to see him, you know, on the TV performing them.
Yeah, I did hear that the Unchained Melody was left out because they felt it slowed everything down too much. You know, they wanted a high energy sort of thing. But you're quite right what you say about Hound Dog and Jailhouse Rock. They were just hurried. Elvis just threw them in there and got through them as quickly as possible. I mean, trying to get to you, why they left that out. It's Now or Never. It's very strange, very, very strange. Yeah.
And even the version he did of a Hawaiian wedding song was nice.
Yeah.
And I believe the concert that was supposed to be filmed on the 20th after Omar, they couldn't get the cameras in. The arena wouldn't allow the cameras, hence why we got no footage from that event. Yes,
that's right. They were supposed to be on the 20th, wasn't there? I think was it Madison or somewhere like that, or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but they were supposed to be the 19th, 20th, and 21st at least, I believe. I think there was some sort of insurance problem. They couldn't get insurance to get the crew in there, or something like that.
I just think it's a bit sad, and the Omar show. You know, you watch Elvis in that, and he doesn't seem there at all, does he? You know,
no.
A few good performances. He did a good version of How Great Thou Art.
Yes.
He looked sluggish, but then 2 nights later when you see him in Rapid City, he looks like a different guy in a way.
Yeah. Well, he actually said to the producers, I believe, that he knew he was bad in Omaha, but he will be better in the next show. And he was. He definitely was. Yeah.
He was. And I think if they released it now, and get somebody behind it who knows how to re-edit the show, they can put them great songs in. They can cut out some of that fan stuff, because some of the comments from the fans was a bit strange back then as well.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they probably got more of that if they filmed quite a few fans, and I think they could redo it a lot better and put the songs in a better choice in the segments. And I think, you know, it would sell for the diehard Elvis fans, I think, because it's still a great performance with the songs he did.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it is available out there. It's available on YouTube, but professionally and everything like that, it hasn't actually. And I don't think EPE probably ever will release it. It's thanks to Todd Slaughter as well that we have that footage at the Indianapolis airport as well, because the crew were there. The crew were there, but they weren't going to film. They were just going to film the plane coming in, I believe. But Todd said, "Look, will you film me giving Elvis this trophy?" And I think he had to slip them a few dollars, I think, to do it.
That's right. Yeah, he paid for him to just get that snippet of. And it's priceless now, isn't it?
Pity there wasn't any sound. It would have been good if it had been sound as well. But
it'd be nice. It'd be nice, but it'd be nice to see it, released sometime. For the diehard fans. I think it's a segment in Elvis's life. Yeah, it's not the best time in his life, but he was there to perform it for the fans. He still gave a great performance, and if you just listened to the album, you'd never know that he was in such poor health, because his voice is still very, very strong. Oh yeah, he's strong. Well, you've only got to take Hurt, haven't you?
Yeah.
The way it's saying Hurt.
Yeah.
So I always thought that was a great performance.
Yeah.
I've heard. Yeah.
I agree.
Definitely.
Alrighty.
Okay. So,
I hope your voice gets better. Cheers, matey.
I will. Hopefully, yeah.
Okay. Bye. Yeah, poor Mark, because as you probably know, Mark is an Elvis tribute artist, and that's his job. He's singing, doing the Elvis songs and things like that. And if you've got throat issues like that, he's gonna. I hope he gets over that cold very soon. I remember a few weeks ago I had the same sort of thing, and it's very frustrating and not a very nice thing to have. Now, Priscilla, let's have a word with Priscilla. Hi, Priscilla.
How do you do, my boy?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, Steve. I'm good. Great.
I missed you last week.
I think I was here, but
busy.
Life gets in the way sometimes.
I know.
I was here for a bit, most of it, and then like people ring and you have to answer them because they're your parents and things like that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So, what's your feeling on the TV specials, the 3 TV specials?
Look, Steve, come on. What's my favourite child? Like, really? No. But, what I am going to do is tell you briefly what I feel about all 3.
Yeah, go on then. Yeah, we'll start with the 68, will we?
The 68. Absolutely phenomenal. Couldn't be faulted for a couple of reasons. Now, I'm not going to get all technical like Dylan does or Mark with the knowledgeable about the music and everything. He was just downright exquisite to look at. And what strikes me most about that is I think obviously he was nervous, but in overcoming them nerves, he actually enjoyed it so much. It was really down to earth. And I think as the what we see as the production goes on, I think you can just see him blossoming. He knows he's doing something right. I also think that imagine what would have happened to Elvis if he could have stayed with the likes of Binder and thought outside the box a bit more. I think they were a really good mix, and I think we know who sort of put a stop to that. That was Parker, wasn't it? It's good to say it. We all know how I feel about that Lion Dutchman. But it just there was chemistry in it between the production, the performance, the audience. I mean, it was electric. And I suppose from my perspective, and we have the benefit of hindsight now, I only ever saw it in hindsight, you could see that all of the fears that Elvis had before that event were dissipating as his performances continued.
Yeah. And of course, we had the climax, the If I Can Dream, which was just phenomenal.
Phenomenal. We also had that black leather suit, ladies.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not going to say anymore. There is no need to say anymore. That was inspired, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Look, musically, it was quite good. That informal session where they're all sitting and, you know, hooping, and I'm going, oh my God, it's just like a session, you know.
Well, he
And
did.
when you
He did the MTV Unplugged before anybody else did. It was just NBC, not MTV.
Yeah, I'd plug out his plug anytime. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, he didn't look too bad in 1968, did he? To be honest.
No, and I think obviously I can't get past the fact that imagine if he had done more with those kind of production teams.
I know.
Where it might have taken him. However, it was really good, and it's something that continually plays, that and Aloha, and it continually plays in our lifetime, and it continually introduces or reaffirms or reignites people's love and acknowledgement for his talent. And
so you've mentioned Aloha. So do you want to just give us a brief what your feelings on the Aloha one was then?
Well, Elvis was in it, so I loved it, and I'm not a bit. I loved it. I loved it. He had some exceptional performances in it. I mean, never mind the fact that, you know, if you ever have to, and I regularly do, justify some of those mad, ludicrous things that people read on social media about Elvis, I just tell them, did you ever see Elvis Aloha in Hawaii?
Yeah.
And all of them would say, yeah, I saw some of it. And I'd say, he raised $75,000 at the time.
That's right.
Over $500,000 now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. For one concert.
And he did that.
Yeah.
And he broke every record in the book while doing so.
He looked fantastic again. He'd lost weight because Marty Pasetta asked him to. Fair play to Marty. He could have just lost the whole deal by saying you need to lose weight. But Elvis admired the fact that he was frank and said, "Look, you're too heavy."
I think through Elvis's lifetime, he formed very strong connections with people who did, at the right time, stand up to him or not concur.
Mm-hmm.
So to be somebody like Elvis, it must have been very difficult to live your life with everybody going, yes, sir, no, sir.
That's right. Yeah. Never tell him that he was wrong or anything like that. Yeah.
And now I know there was times in his life where he wouldn't want you to tell him that he was wrong. And we're all human, and so was he. But I think that he had respect for people who were willing to stand up for what they thought he needed to do or hear. And I think he proved that by then going ahead and, you know, going to sleep for a couple of weeks and losing all that weight. He did look spectacular. And,
the highlight for me...
I actually liked the furry hair. I liked the furry hair.
Oh, did you? Well, you see, you can tell the difference between the rehearsal and the actual show itself because of the hair. The hair, he had the hair. He didn't like the way the hair looked in the rehearsal, and he's quite correct. It does look a bit too shaggy for me. I prefer the 14th to me.
I like him anyway. I did like the shaggy hair. I did.
Now, I was going to say the highlight of the show for me was "I'll Remember You," followed very closely by "American Trilogy."
Absolutely. Now, if you could snip that and play it on a loop, I don't think you'd ever get bored of it.
No, I don't think I'd ever get bored watching it, that's for sure.
Well, I have the Aloha CD in my car.
Yeah.
And I swear to Christ, every time I sit in the car to drive someplace, I just press play.
Yeah.
All the time.
So do we want...
All the other recordings I have, that's the one that always goes in the car with me.
Okay, so do we want to now touch on the 1977 one? I know to some people it's a very sort of touchy subject and it's very emotive or anything like that. What would you like to say about the 1977 Elvis in concert?
I think we should talk about it for all the reasons that I've just mentioned in the previous ones.
Mm-hmm.
It was clear Elvis was suffering. There's absolutely no doubt he was not the best version of himself, and for what all those reasons that we already know, overprescribed medication. Now we know, we've read wonderful things like Sally Hodell's book, where they clearly explain the physical challenges that and health issues he was dealing with that nobody knew about at the time. Yet he still went out and performed. And he still agreed to do. Now, for a man who was so prideful of his look and his music, he still agreed to do that TV special.
Exactly. Joe Esposito said that, he accepted his appearance now, and so I mean,
I couldn't fit into something I wore 2 weeks ago. That's mine 5 years ago. We have unrealistic expectations, and I think this is where we do Elvis an injustice, where we only see the good points. And this is where I, take issue with EPE. It's not all. There was more after 74.
Yeah.
To me, it shows the sacrifice. It clearly details the sacrifice that Elvis made on an ongoing basis to push himself that extra step. Because let's face it, he could have said, "Nah, guys, not doing it. Reboot something. I'll sit here and live my best life."
Yeah.
But he still his love for performing, his love for his audience, and the extra effort it took in 77 for him to go out and do those things. I think fair play to him. I think it's to be commended. I don't think we can be Elvis fans, and I genuinely mean this. And I'm not trying to sound, like I'm telling people what to think. I think you do Elvis an injustice by not acknowledging that that's what that stage of his life was.
Yes, that's right. Now, I did hear that EPE have said that they don't want to release it because Elvis would be open to ridicule. That's what they've said, which I actually think is a very weak reason for saying that.
Absolutely.
Because
absolutely, the reason they don't want to release it is it doesn't go with the happy clappy narrative they're living off.
Yeah.
The reality is they're doing him an injustice by not endorsing it, by not acknowledging that there are parts of this where he wasn't the best version of himself, and yes, there are things he could have done differently, but hey lads, there's a couple of key things here that he just blew out of the water.
Yeah.
Even though we know he wasn't the best version himself.
Well, that's what I mean. I said if you listen to it, not watch it, but if you just listen to the album, you wouldn't have had any idea that he was sick as he was.
No.
Yeah.
And I think the key is to watch it and listen to it, Steve, because if you just listen to that album, you think everything's fine. But when you see what it is and what kind of physical state he was in for whatever reason, and he could still do that. So I think all three have wonderful merits. And I think that to exclusively cut sections of that man's career and the efforts he made to entertain people out is an injustice to him.
Yeah. Okay, we'll finish there. I do have other callers to come online. Thanks very, very much for ringing in again. I knew you wouldn't let me down on this one. I really did.
You see, I just say what I think, Steve. I don't think it's never any way profound.
Well, sometimes that's the best way.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Have a good week.
Same to you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Okay. Yes, and we move on and we say, hello, Susan. How are you, Susan?
Hi, Steve. I know you're kind of running late here. I'll be real quick.
No. There's no such thing as running late. No, definitely not.
I just wanted to chime in on the specials.
Yes.
When I watched Aloha, I was 11, and my dad and my mom were watching. That has a special memory for me. They're both gone. But my dad he loved Frank Sinatra, and he never heard My Way, anyone else sing it. And he did love Elvis also, but when he heard Elvis sing My Way, it's the first time I ever saw tears in my father's eyes.
Oh, wow.
And he said, oh my God, he nailed that. And he said, that's the best performance I've ever heard of that song. So that's a memory that I keep dear because we watched it together, and I just had seen the emotion that Elvis, generated in my father. I wanted to say too, and Priscilla made some great points here. When he was nervous at the 68, and he was probably just as nervous going out in 77 with what people would think.
Yes, he was, yeah.
But it was two different nerves, and yet both times he sang with his heart, and he got the attention from the audience, revived him. I really think, the nerves in 68 when he saw the way the fans were acting and the response, it just energized him. And then the same thing in 77. He didn't know how it would look, but then he just came out in the love, and he just gave his all. And I just think it just shows how much the fans meant to him. And I hope other fans, we all feel this way, but other fans would think about that, the love that he came out in the most difficult times and gave his all. And he just felt that from from the fans. And that, to me, a lot of people wouldn't vote for 77, but to me, it's a gift when he was out there and we have that film, because yes, there was issues and whatnot, but he just showed the love of music, of performing, and just the love from the fans.
And so have you voted then on the poll?
I voted for Aloha.
Oh, did you? Right.
But it was a really hard choice. Yeah.
yes. I'll be interested to see. I'll be interested to see how many the 68 and the 77 get, because obviously I believe the 73 is going to win, but I'll still be interested to see how much the other ones get.
Well, it's a great question, and I just think that, younger fans, I was alive for all three of those shows. I remember watching all three, and it's just for you guys to be able to still see it and be able to experience it, those that weren't there, just to understand for us that were there, it's a memory that I never got to see him live, but it's still a memory that I will treasure, because I felt a part of him during those performances, even as a little girl.
Yeah. Well said, and I agree with just about everything you've said. Thanks very much for calling in, Susan.
And thanks again, Steve, for the CD.
Yeah, thanks very much. Okay. Oh, yes, enjoy it. Yes, thanks. All the best. Bye-bye. Bye. Yes, of course, Susan was one of our monthly Elvis Fan of the Month winners, and I gave her a choice of some CDs, and she picked a CD, and she just said to me there, thank you very much for the CD. So, and I said, I hope she enjoys it. Now, great calls. Thanks very, very much for everybody that rang in. I think that's the calls for tonight, so I can close that off. And I can say, please do keep voting on our Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel poll tonight. It's which one is your favourite? The 1968 NBC TV special, the Aloha from Hawaii 1973, or the CBS Elvis in Concert in 1977. I'll be interested to see the outcome of that in a few minutes. So we now have oh yes, we do. We have this.
It's time now for This Day in Elvis History.
Yes, it certainly is. 1954, February the 16th, Elvis brought Dixie home to meet his parents. Yes, early days. 1955, Elvis performed at the Odessa Senior High School Fieldhouse, Odessa, Texas, at 7:30 and 9:30. There is a photograph of him backstage, and my goodness me, doesn't he look young? And I think we've seen those socks somewhere before, those diamond socks, the diamond pattern on those socks. Just keep a lookout for photographs with those diamond socks. Take it from me, he did wear them a lot in the 1955 and 1956. Maybe he had a few pairs of those, but yeah, I noticed them a lot. The show attracted more than 4,000 people, including local singer Roy Orbison. Roy later commented, his energy was incredible. His instinct was just amazing. Soon it became obvious that any other act would have trouble following him. Very interesting, that from Roy. 1956. Yeah. Elvis performed at the Carolina Theatre, Winston-Salem, North Carolina at 4:30, 7 and 9. So there you are. And there's the billboard. Tomorrow, February 16th, 4, 7 and 9. In person. Not in colour, but in person. Elvis Presley. Okay. 1957. Hang on. We've got a newspaper report from 1956. The local newspaper reported he slouches, he scratches, he mugs, he bumps, he grinds. The frenzy, the hysteria, the wild and wonderful shrieks of joy, sheer joy. These were reserved for the remarkable young man with the long hair, the pearly teeth, and the stylish slouch, the incredible conceit of Elvis Presley. Okay. 1957. Yeah, we have Elvis' single Playing for Keeps, hit number 34 in the US. The song was the B-side of Too Much. Also Loving You production as well. 1958, we've got King Creole production. This is a good one. 1959, Elvis donating blood to German Red Cross at the Wortham Barracks in Friedberg, Germany. And there it is. And there's, can you just make it out to, Obviously, all the nurses asking for his autograph. I love it. I love it. 1966. Elvis began 2 days of soundtrack recording at radio recorders for Spin Out, starting at 3 p.m. and working till midnight. I just love Spin Out. I really do. Radio recorders, Studio B, Hollywood, California, February 16th, 1966, which was a Wednesday. Smorgasbord, 7 takes. Splice takes of Stop, Look, Listen. Am I Ready, 7 takes. And Beach Shack, 4 takes. And if you ever get a chance to listen to the outtakes of Beach Shack, please do. Because even on a bad day, if you listen to those outtakes, you will laugh. You will laugh. I love listening to those outtakes. 1968. Elvis's gospel album, How Great Thou Art, is awarded a gold record. It would go on to win a Grammy Award for Best Sacred Performance, and by 2010 was certified triple platinum. The LP includes the 1965 number 3 hit, Crying in the Chapel. That's that one. 1970, 71, 72 and 73, dinner and midnight shows in Vegas. 1970, both on the dinner show and the midnight show, were several songs recorded which would serve as a backbone for the upcoming on-stage album. It was obvious that Polk Salad Annie, completed with karate moves, was the new showstopper. And 1972, during the dinner show, Elvis introduces songwriter Johnny Tillotson. And let's have a look at some of these from 1973. The concert years, February 16th. What else have we got? Doing the Best I Can, February the 16th. From the Booth tapes. From the booth. So obviously somebody was sitting in one of the booths near the stage taping it. I'm a Steamroller Baby. Okay. And 1977, Elvis performed at the Garrett Coliseum, Montgomery, Alabama. There he is going in. And I do believe that's Ed Parker as well on the extreme right there. And probably the back of Dick Grobb. And he wore the rainfall suit. Elvis belting out his numbers. James looking very impressed behind him. I like that suit, actually, Rainfall. It's a simple suit for 77. Wow, he looks hot and sweaty there. And there he is, leaving after the show. He looks kind of tired there, doesn't he? Right, so that was this day in Elvis history. And we have another one of these.
Hidden Elvis, clue number 3.
Clue number 3, to go with obviously 1 and 2, is 3 minutes and 15 seconds. I think most people will have got it by now. 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Right. Please do keep voting on which one is your favourite NBC 1968 TV special. What some people call the comeback special. No, not for me. 1973 NBC Aloha from Hawaii. 1977 CBS Elvis in Concert. Now, I wish Elvis had recorded, suggested by Dylan. Hi Dylan, again. Have you ever seen the rain? A song by American rock band Creedence Clearwater Revival, written by John Fogerty and released as a single in 1971 from the album Pendulum. Fogerty stated that the line, "Have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day?" was inspired by the band's feelings of unease and depression at the height of their fame and commercial success. The band would ultimately split in October 1972 following the release of their album Mardi Gras. The song charted in Canada, reaching the highest in Canada, actually, reaching number 1 on the RPM 100 National Singles Chart in March 1971. In the US, in the same year, it peaked at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 Singles Chart. And in the UK, it reached number 36. It was the group's 8th gold-selling single in March 2023, and the song surpassed 1 billion streams on Spotify in March 2023. So that's this week's I Wish Elvis Had Recorded, and I will leave a link below if you're not familiar with Have You Ever Seen the Rain? And that's the second Creedence Clearwater Revival one we've done, because was it last week or the week before we did Bad Moon Rising? So yes, and you can send your suggestions in for I Wish Elvis Had Recorded. Now, what I think we'll do is I think we will close the poll. I'm going to have a look. End poll. Yeah, it's kind of played out exactly as I thought. So it's 1968 NBC TV special, 53%. 1970, no, actually it hasn't played out as I thought, because I thought it would be Aloha from Hawaii. Aloha from Hawaii has got 42%, and the 1977 Elvis in Concert CBS only 3%. So that's thrown me, actually, because I thought it would be Aloha that would win. And Tanya actually asked me which was my favorite, and it is, I go with the majority this time, and I say the NBC TV special 1968 would be my favourite. Now, we've got Doreen Beanie. Hi, Doreen Beanie. Thank you very, very, very much for your kind donation, super chat. Thank you very, very much. That's very, very kind. I'm only just seeing that. Thank you very, very much. Right, so thanks to everybody that voted on that. And I'll just repeat that one more time. It is the 1968 NBC TV special got 53%, the Aloha from Hawaii got 42%, and the Elvis in Concert 1977 got 3%. So there you are. Now, this is next up.
It's time now for Caption the Photo.
And this was the photo. This made me smile and made me laugh when I first saw it on the Discord server, our Discord channel. The Elvis picture of the day, this was one of them. And so I thought, I'm going to have to use that for Caption the Photo. And these are some of the ones that you left on the posts tab on this channel. Pinch Me, I Think I'm Dreaming. Hey Charlie, Am I Dreaming? Sure feels like heaven to me. I'm surrounded by all these girls. I think I'm so close yet so far from paradise. That's a clever one. If you think I'm nervous, you're right. Yeah, that's what he said in the 1977 Elvis in Concert TV special. I'm girl happy. Yes, girl happy. Can't you see? And baby, you're wearing that loved on look. They all got quite a few thumbs up, but the one that got the most voted for by you, the winner is Mrs. EAP, Elaine. And it's, I'm just a red-blooded boy and I can't stop thinking about girls, girls, girls. Obviously, a line from the song Girls, Girls, Girls. Yeah. So, and I will do another caption this photo on Tuesday, probably, on the post tabs on this channel. Thanks to everybody that sent in a caption, by the way. There were some really good ones. I just picked some of my favorites there. Caption the photo. And we're going to do an underrated song now. And this was chosen by Danielle. Hi, Danielle, also known as DF Lee on our Discord server. Wearing That Loved On Look. I've just mentioned that, didn't I? Yes. Is a song by Nashville songwriters Dallas Frazier and A.L. Doodle Owens. It was recorded in 1969 by Elvis for his album From Elvis in Memphis. And it's the opening track on the album, and what an opening it is. Let's have a look at the recording of it. He did 15 takes of it. A lot of them were false starts or long false starts. In fact, take 1 all the way through to take 9 were false starts. He barely got going all the way. Then take 10, he asked for a playback. Take 11, long false start. 12 false starts. 13. Then he asked for a playback of take 14, and then he finally nailed it. Take 15 is the master, and they overdubbed backing vocals and guitars and so forth on January the 19th, January the 22nd, January the 24th. The song was covered by the Canadian band the Sadies on their 2001 album Tremendous Efforts. I'll put a link to that, actually. It's quite interesting to hear somebody else sing a song that we're so familiar with, Elvis singing. So yeah, Danielle says, I heard this song for the first time yesterday when you presented the YouTube show. What a joyful, playful song. I have been playing on repeat all day. Yeah, this was the second or the third song that I featured on Brent's channel when he asked me to do a show there a while back, and he done it on replay. And Danielle had heard that, Wearing That Love Done Look. So check that out, actually. It's on Brent's Elvis Nation channel if you want to... and let me know your comments as well on that, if you're watching this on playback. Right, so we've got this.
Hidden Elvis, fourth and final clue.
Hidden Elvis, fourth and final clue. When I give you this now, I'm pretty sure that you are going to get the answer, no problem. And it is in excess of 20 million physical copies worldwide. Now, would anybody like to tell me what they think those 4 clues have led us to? Oh, wow. Pat, you're in there very, very quick. Oh, Vincenzo says the next step is love. Okay. The clues were 80 beats per minute, E major, 3 minutes 15 seconds, and then that one, which is in excess of 20 million physical copies worldwide. And Edwidge is saying it's now or never. Rebel Vegan, Margaret Tier. Hello, Margaret. Yes. Everybody that said it's now or never is 100% right, because that's what those 4 clues led to, is this. There you are. It's now or never, with Make Me Know It on the reverse. And it is 80 beats per minute. It is set in E major. It is a duration of 3 minutes and 15 seconds long. And it has sold in excess of 20 million physical copies worldwide, which is a lot of copies, considering that it is a 1960 recording and probably still sells today. So Antonia says, I've got my copy. Yes. You can, of course, send in your ideas if you wish for underrated songs, smoking hot photos, songs you wish Elvis had sung, songs you wish Elvis had sung live, funny caption photos, or you can suggest a topic for discussion. You can email them in. You can send them to me on Discord. You can send them to me on my social media platforms as well. And can I just take a mere brief moment to ask you, if you haven't as yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and turn the bell black for all notifications. It does help in the cultivation of Elvis's memory and legacy. It really does. Smoking hot photo. Yes, I am going to give you that now. Thanks for reminding me.
Oh, he's so hot.
And you also reminded me as well that you can send in your...
Oh, he's so hot.
If you want to send in your recording of saying something along those lines or something similar, and if you want to be part of the show, and I will use your jingle when I do the smoking hot photo.
Oh, he's so hot.
Which is this one. I think that's 1969. I think it's around about the time of A Change of Habit. The hair looks sort of Change of Habit-ish, doesn't it? Oh, Tanya says, I sent mine on Discord. I'll try and fish that out. But you can record it on Discord as well, yeah. A hunk, a burning love. Thanks, Doreen. Thanks again for the super chat. Rebel Vegan says, just perfect there. He's in a car, and can you imagine him pulling up at your house and you opening the door and looking at that? Hey, baby, I've come to pick you up. It's during change of habit, Steve. Fair enough. Okay. Beautiful eyes. Yes, beautiful everything. And Pat Shepherd says, actually, Pat says this.
Oh, he's so hot.
Chris, of course, says absolutely stunning, and I would agree 100% with that. Rebel Vegan says, yes, I can imagine that, Steve. Yeah, him pulling up at your house and saying, hey, baby, I've come to pick you up. Thanks again for everybody joining me today. Thanks for the calls. Thanks for everybody that's commented and taken part in the quiz and everything like that. You can, if you do like the show, you can, how do I move that? I don't think I can I? Oh, I can, yes. I can just move that over a little bit just to show you that you can, if you wish, you can use the link below for Buy Me a Coffee, or you can scan the QR code if you want to donate to the channel. Everything does go back into the channel. So that's it for this week. I better move Elvis out of the way again so that you can see me. No, I won't get rid of Elvis. How dare I? But I'll move him across like that and see what everybody else has to say. Thanks, Steve. Great show. Take care and see you next week. Thanks, Edwidge. That's very, very nice. So yes, we'll do it all again next week. There'll be another quiz and another smoking hot and all the other things and another topic, of course. And please do look after yourself until next week. And it just leaves me to say, Al, what are you going to say to me?
Elvis has left the building. Thank you and good night.